Hey guys, Magnus here, bringing you another video. This one's going to be doing my final sort of superhero update. I'm going to wrap up all the superhero stuff. So of course, I've been doing my top 5, top best, top 10 stuff for the superhero content, and I've done the top 10 best and top 10 worst buildings, and I've done the top 5 best and top 5 worst characters. Now of course, I'm going to close it off with our ranked costumes. I'm going to rank all the costumes instead of doing a top 5 or top 10 or whatever of the costumes. I'm just going to rank them because it's just easier, because there's only if I just count them, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's only 10, so I could do top 5 best, top 5 worst, but it's just easy to do a ranked video, you know. So yeah, so I guess we'll start from the worst and we'll go to the best, although I've titled it best to worst. It's more clickbaity, you know. So yeah, let's go to the worst. So the worst costume of the superheroes event, and by all means I don't mean it's a terrible costume, but the one that I don't like, I least like, is the Sidekick Millhouse. So it's an okay costume. It's not the worst one that's ever been added to Taps Out, but I just don't particularly like it, just mainly because it's kind of like a copy of Fallout Boy, and we've already got a Fallout Boy. It's a bit like making a Radioactive Man costume for Bart and giving him like a Radioactive Man costume when we've already got Radioactive Man. That's the kind of one thing I'm going with. You know, the costume itself isn't that interesting. I mean, let's be honest. It's not the most interesting costume we've ever had. But it was pretty cool, I guess. You know, we didn't actually originally get this from the superhero update. We got this from an episode tie-in. I believe, yeah, we did, and of course it got implicated to the super. And I've also put the Fruit Batman on. I know the Fruit Batman wasn't originally; it was originally another episode tie-in. But yeah, it's probably the worst one, I'd say. I mean, it's the least interesting one in my opinion. I mean, the tasks is okay and the quest line is meh, but the actual look at it isn't amazing. The next one is Cyborg Snake. So Cyborg Snake, it's a pretty cool costume. But the problem is, I like to go back to the episode of where it's from. It's from a very, very smallish episode. It's like a little gag that was in the episode, and it's featured in 2 episodes actually. It was featured in another one with his cyborg sort of version. It's also in one of the future episodes, the future event episode, like when they go to the future, we see a Cyborg Snake. So that's a potential thing they can bring back for the future event idea that I did. But anyway, yeah, Cyborg Snake is okay. It's okay. It was kind of a throw-in costume though. It was a bit of a random one, and I like how Snake's got like a load of costumes all of a sudden, because he got one in the Wild West update as well, didn't he? Really weird, but yeah, it's a pretty coolish costume. It's not the worst one that they could have added, but yeah, it's just not as good as the other ones that are above it. The next one is Clownface, or Krusty the Clown's costume. Again, it's a bit of an obscure one. It's not really been seen so many times in so many episodes, and although it was really, really cool to get another one for Krusty, another costume for Krusty, it's not the most exciting costume there. And I like it. It's not terrible, but I just think that they could have they could have made a not a better one, but I'm just saying, again, it's hard to justify, but the ones above it are not as good as better than the Clownface, sorry. So the next one is Bouncing Battle Baby. Again, now I think it's really, really cool. I like it when they give costumes to Maggie, because now she's got she's got 2 costumes and her standard one. So 3 different versions of Maggie you can have in your town. I think that's cool. This is the 3rd one, and you know, it makes her sort of bounce. You know, she's like this bouncing baby, and whatever. It's not like a really, really famous thing from a really, really memorable episode, and that's the one problem I have with it. But I still think it's pretty cool to add them, and that's why I'm going to put it above Clownface and Cyborg Snake and Sidekick Millhouse. Is I think it's cooler to give one of these costumes to Maggie, and it's a bit more unique, and I like it. It's a pretty cool costume. It's not the worst, and the quest lines are pretty funny. The next one is we're getting into the top. Okay, this is number 6. Yeah, number 6. This is Clobber Girl. So the Treehouse of Horror episode, which this is from, is one of it's probably my favorite Treehouse of Horror episode. I love that episode. So the Clobber Girl was really, really cool. I just think, again, like I say, the other ones above it are a bit better. The Clobber Girl one, the quest lines are better. The quest lines are really, really cool. There's some good stuff with the collector and all that. But yeah, the Clobber Girl costume itself, it looks a bit it's not the most coolest looking one, I'm going to be honest. I don't really like the look of it all that much, but it's pretty cool. It's from a really, really memorable episode, so I'll give it that. And of course, number 5, the next one, is Stretch Dude. The only reason I put Stretch Dude above Clobber Girls, I think it looks a bit cooler, and yeah, I just think it looks cooler. But you know, really, really cool. Stretch Dude is a really, really cool superhero. The Treehouse of Horror episode is one of my favourite, like I said. So it's really, really cool to see Stretch Dude, and of course we can have this task with him, you know, stretching out his body and all that. It's just cool. It's just really, really fun to look at. Really, really cool animations and a really, really good quest line with Stretch Dude and Clobber Girl. I just put Stretch Dude a little bit above, Clobber Girl, just because of the look of the costume. So yeah. I was going to group them together, but I thought we may as well just split them apart. The number 4, the next best one, is the Fruit Batman. So this is the first ever superhero costume they added, and that's what I like. The Fruit Batman always like sort of leads it, well, it helps leads the superhero event. Of course, Fall Out Boy sort of led the first Fall Out event, but first superhero event Fall Out Boy did. But the Burns costume really did help as well. It helped with a lot of the quest lines, and of course you needed that to battle. It was the first sort of costume you had, or you know, character you had to actually battle felons alongside Fall Out Boy. So it's a necessary costume, and I think it's a really, really cool costume. And although it wasn't added in originally, it was of course originally added in an episode tie-in for free, which is really cool. And of course it comes back now as donuts, which is a bit unfortunate. In the first superhero event it was free, but now in the second one it's donuts, which is a bit unfortunate. But I liked it anyway. It's a really, really cool costume, and I mean, it's just got to be number 4. It's just funny, and it's funny to see all the little animations with Mr. Burns, because of course he's very old, and it's funny. Anyway, number 3 is Bartman. Okay, but the Bartman deal, although it was a donut costume, I thought the deal was brilliant. You got a little cave, the Bartman cave, which was it was a building basically that earned money, and you got the costume for, I think it was 60 donuts. Really, really good deal. It was at 80 donuts. Either way, it was a great deal. Really, really worth it. And the one thing in the whole superhero event I advise you to buy if you're a donut spender and you don't hack. Yeah, really, really cool costume and cool character to have, and overall it's just so cool. Of course, it's been in many episodes, the Bartman. We've seen it in many episodes, so it's very relevant for that, and I just love the costume. It's great. It's kind of an iconic character that Bart portrays. Yeah, it's great. Number 2 is the Collector. So of course, like I said, my favourite Treehouse of Horror episode is the one with, I forget exactly what number it is, but it's the one with the Clobber Girl, Stretch Dude and Clobber Girl. And of course, the villain they battle in that is the Collector, or comic book guy, which is an evil villain who collects everything, and he collects celebrities and keeps them up in his honestly, great. I love this episode so much. The Collector was probably the best part of it though, and that's why I love it. I love the fact they added him as a character. It was great. It's really, really fun to see him. A great villain, really, really funny villain. You know, some really funny tasks in there as well. And overall, I was so chuffed and so happy when they added him. He's probably, yeah, he's my second best. He's my second best. But anyway, can we have that drum roll for the number 1? I think it's probably clearly obvious which one it is, but we'll have that drum roll anyway. It's Pie Man. So Homer's costume, Pie Man, you know, it's the only costume that Homer has from the superhero event, and a lot of the time I don't like the Homer costumes, but this one in this case is definitely my favourite superhero costume, my 3rd favourite costume of all time still. It's just so fun. Again, like the Bartman one, it's appeared many times in The Simpsons. We've seen it many times, and the tasks in this are hilarious. The quest line for it is great. At least the first quest line here, but the second one's a bit dull. But the one in the Superheroes 1 event was pretty fun. And overall, it's just a great character. I love it. It's my favourite. So if this was his own character, it'd be one of my favourite characters. But it's one of my favourite costumes. It's so fun to look at. It makes Homer look completely different. And of course, it's that sort of, it's a funny superhero. You know, Pie Man. He throws pies at people. You know, it's a funny goof of the superhero genre as a whole. And yeah, it's a great hero, great hero. I love it so much, and of course it's a prize. It's free. It originally was anyway. I'm not too sure about the part 2, but great costume. I absolutely love it. So gets my #1 spot. So anyway, guys, that's all the superhero stuff done now. What will I be doing next? You may wonder. Well, I'm going to be doing Halloween after Halloween sort of closes up, and of course Halloween's got quite a while. I was thinking of maybe doing like Thanksgiving or something, but there's really not enough in it for me to really do. So I'll just do a ranked costumes, top 10 or top 5, whatever, characters, and top 10 buildings, and top 10 worst buildings, and top 5 or top 10 worst characters. I'll do that for all of Halloween as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.